Hello everyone, welcome back to Horror Mystery Rewind. Today we will talk about the fantasy movie The Man Without Gravity, which was released in 2019. Leave a comment and subscribe if you like the video. Spoilers ahead, enjoy and take care of yourself. The film begins with a woman named Natalia and her mother, Alina, driving through a thunderstorm to the hospital. She is having a baby. She begs her mother to drive quickly out of suffering. When they get to the hospital, a nurse at the front desk lets them know that there aren't any doctors present right now. She therefore assists the woman herself. When Natalia eventually gives birth, the child is silent. He seemed to float in the air, lighter than it even was. Natalia clutches the baby's umbilical cord and gently draws him towards her as the other two are left speechless. Without giving the nurse their details, Natalia and her mother flee with the infant. Natalia is thrilled to have given birth to such a unique child and believes her infant to be an angel. Natalia believes he will stop flying if he eats something at home. Alina inquires about the father, but it turns out that Natalia doesn't know because she formerly worked as a prostitute. After that, Alina decides that the child would not be permitted to leave the house because she wants to shield him from the cruel outside world. The youngster is found lying on the ceiling when Alina awakens the following morning. She gently takes him to the ground. Both refer to him as Oscar. 4 of Alina's friends show up to their door right then to see the infant. Natalia wraps the infant in a blanket and belts him to a crib. The women are completely unaware that the kid is special. One of them wants to take up Oscar, but Alina denies her, claiming that the child is delicate. The ladies then depart. The two then adjust the ceiling of the house so that the child may sleep soundly. Oscar can't go outside, according to Alina, because he has a sun allergy. A few years later, Oscar has developed into a lovely youngster. His grandma continues to forbid him from leaving the house. He watches Batman on television and observes pedestrians through the window in his daily activities. He is also being taught to read and write at home by Alina. Natalia creates him a jacket one day that has weights in the pockets. Oscar is now able to move around on solid ground. Natalia rejoices because she can finally send her son to school. Alina, however, advises against him leaving the home for his own security. Even when Natalia insists, Alina refuses. One day, Oscar decides to try to escape his home by opening the window while he is alone. Alina and Natalia are startled to see the window open when they return. At first, they believed Oscar had fled his house, but it turns out that his jacket had slipped off and trapped him in the ceiling. Natalia has had enough and wants her child to go outside and experience the outside world, but Alina has had enough and begins to permanently close the windows. She quarrels with her mother that evening and takes Oscar outside. She advises him to keep his power a secret so that he can be safe from the evil people when they are out for a stroll. He hasn't walked much in his life, so he limps when he moves. Natalia started taking him out every day in his jacket from that point on. They go hand in hand, and Natalia even helps him improve his walk. Natalia leaves Oscar outside a store one day while she and Oscar are out shopping. While he waits, he runs into Agata, a little girl, and accidentally spills her groceries. The young girl demands his assistance in carrying the groceries to her house since she is furious with him. Oscar is initially hesitant, but he eventually agrees to assist her in carrying bottles. The two leave the shop and go outside. On the journey, they have a number of different conversations. Oscar throws the weights out after they have been walking for some time because he is exhausted from carrying them. He remains on the ground due to the weight of the bottles. But she asks him for the bottles when they arrive at Agata's house. Oscar declines, knowing that he will take off without them. The bottles are pulled by the two before being dropped. Since the weights are gone, Oscar flies up, but thankfully is stopped by a roof. The young girl looks on in astonishment, believing him to be a superhero. She offers him her backpack so he may remain on the ground, and she makes a commitment to keep it a secret. At home, Natalia is utterly concerned about her son. He arrives home in a hurry. He shares the news of his new friend with his mother. He lies and claims that she is unaware of Oscar's abilities when he is questioned about them. The next day, Agata and Oscar start playing together. She makes daily visits to Oscar's house for playdates. One day, Agata's grandma brings her over. As Natalia and Agata chat, Natalia discovers that Agata is aware of Oscar's capabilities, so she forbids him from playing with her starting the following day. Every day, Agata comes to Oscar's home, but Natalia constantly finds a reason to dismiss her. Agata visits Oscar's one day with her grandmother. Natalia ignores them by claiming that Oscar has homework, but Agata discloses that Oscar doesn't attend school. The grandma calls the police to Natalia's home along with other female residents of the community. They strongly believe that Natalia and Alina register Oscar in a school, and the two agree. Natalia brings Oscar to school on his first day, but she quickly learns that children are required to leave their jackets and backpacks outside. She drags him back to the car out of sadness, and they drive back to their house. To avoid anyone asking about Oscar's condition, they ultimately decide to relocate to a remote town. A few years pass, and Oscar is now an adult. Alina was no longer alive. The mother and son have relocated to the mountains, where they lead regular lives. Oscar is never without his backpack. Oscar happens to catch a TV commercial for a talent show one day. The announcer encourages anyone with a special talent to audition for the show. He chooses to leave the town without notifying his mother since he wants to participate in the competition to demonstrate his talent. A few days later, Oscar is at the talent competition when he demonstrates his flying ability to everyone in the audience. Everyone is speechless. Some people believe Oscar to be an angel. Oscar catches the eye of David, a talent scout, who offers Oscar the chance to become famous. David assures him that he will be asked to appear on TV programs to demonstrate his talent. Oscar's greatest wish is to have a biography published about him, and David promises to make that a reality. Oscar signed a contract with David without any hesitation. He is then given the stage name A Man Without Gravity by David. Following the contract signing, David presents him with a lavish home. Although David opposes it, he wants his mother to stay in the house as well. The following day, Oscar starts giving performances on TV shows and modeling for journals. He first enjoys the exciting city life as he continues to grow, but over time he begins to feel hollow and unsatisfied. He begins to gain a large number of fans. David intentionally constructs stories about Oscar to increase his fame. To earn money off of them, he even creates a museum about Oscar where he displays unrelated stuff as his possessions. Oscar later expresses his displeasure over the media's falsifications of him. He no longer desires to live his life in this manner. He wants David to end the contract since he is tired of the celebrity's lifestyle. But then David mentions a publisher who wants to meet with him to write a book on him. He changes his mind after hearing this because his ambition of having a book written about him is now a reality. He is thrilled beyond words. He learns that the author and publisher, however, are only concerned with making money by selling as many books as they can. They intend to exaggerate his life story by adding false information and portraying him as having been extremely poor as a child. When Oscar learns this, he declines to cooperate with the publisher. The next day, David extends an invitation to Oscar's mother because he is aware of how much Oscar misses her. She arrives at Oscar's house to find a party in progress. Natalia has brought inspirational quotes that Oscar used to collect at home. Although Natalia is overjoyed to meet her son, Oscar is clearly upset. The next day, Oscar makes a mistake while appearing on a live television program. David is upset with him. Oscar admits he no longer wants to be the guy without gravity. He urges David to pretend that he has passed away so he can live in peace. The news travels quickly. Everyone is talking about Oscar's passing, and reporters try to speak with his mother every day when they visit his home. After a few days, Oscar changed his name to Desky. He disguises himself and claims to be disabled in order to attach himself to a wheelchair when going outside. Desky is currently employed as a receptionist at a hotel known for its prostitution. On Christmas Eve, all but one room is empty. Desky goes to see how the person is doing in space. There, he meets the new prostitute, who assures him that everything is alright. The lady addresses Desky by his real name, Oscar, as he prepares to leave. Oscar is taken aback. It turns out that the woman is Agata. She has begun working as a prostitute. They are overjoyed to see each other once more. They go on a date the following day and discuss a lot about their past. They return to Oscar's room at night and make love. Despite the fact that they are in love, Agata is still hesitant to accept Oscar's affection because of her occupation. They have a large argument about the matter, and Oscar leaves. Oscar returns to his former village the following day and finds it abandoned. The museum that was set up to display Oscar's possessions has also been closed. He enters his old home and remains there for some time when suddenly there is a knock at the door. It is Agata, who is costumed as a young woman. When he sees her in that way, Oscar delights. A few years pass, and Oscar and Agata are now married and residing in the house where Oscar grew up. Agata is expecting their first child. Oscar has begun cleaning windows at his job. As the film ends, Oscar is seen washing a skyscraper's window while dressed as Batman. He is fulfilling a childhood fantasy. If you like the video, subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and click on like to help the channel out.